What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Hopefully, welcome back. Listen, I'd like to say thank you to anyone who has subscribed. Hit 500 subscribers today. It's a big deal for me. I never planned on having a YouTube channel. I'm not like a public person, even though I guess I have a public channel. I'm kind of a private person, but people are like, hey, you should share what you're doing. It's pretty cool, be inspirational for other people. Hope it is. Hope you're enjoying it. But yeah, so off camera after yesterday's video, I ran the land plane over all this. You can see it up on the right. I did not do that on camera. I did a short of that earlier today. Check the short out if you want to see what it looked like before I started doing this excavation here. Now, if you can see, this is the driveway area. You can see it's crowned to the left and to the right. I'm hoping to keep the water off of the rocks. If there's any washout, I want it to stay off of the rocks. I don't want to lose the gravel. It's just too expensive. It's very, very valuable, and we're going to be probably needing somewhere between 100 and 140 tons to connect from up top to down here past this tree where we're headed. I pulled a lot of dirt out of here today. And I did a lot of this off of camera just because I felt like I didn't get enough done yesterday, and I really wanted to just get at it. So I did it off camera. In the future, I'd like to have a drone. That way, I can just set it to hover and you all can check that out. So yeah, this area is all cleaned up now. There was a bunch of washout here from, the storms we had over the past week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm glad to get out here again. This will give you just a little peek down the driveway. You can see that's actually all rock. I've cut a lot of that out with that track loader to make that driveway what it is. Pulled a tremendous amount of dirt out of here. But yeah, unfortunately that tree is going to have to go, man. I really don't want to take that tree out, but it is definitely in the way. So I've kind of just been putting that off. It'd just be a shame to see it go. It's just a big tree, and I know technically that hollowed out trunk is not a good feature, but I love the way it looks, and it's just got a lot of character. But you can see this is shaped up real nice. I've got to feather all that back in, but I've been taking all that dirt over here. You can see this is filled up a whole bunch. If you've been watching these videos, this is the road going back through the woods. Eventually I will be building a house back there. So this is, getting built up. It's nice. This area was, a real low spot before. This is probably built up about 8 foot high. A lot of dirt in this area, and all that stuff I did today got brought down here. So yeah, this is good progress. This makes me happy. Not this road here, but the driveway that I'm talking about putting gravel on is my number one priority. This road through the woods, I gotta make some better videos on this. Those didn't get much attention. I think it was because of the format I was shooting all this stuff in. But what an achievement that was. I'll probably make some new videos on that road so people can enjoy it. But that to me was for me personally, was like a lifetime achievement. That road was wild to put in, just getting up the hills and cutting through the hills and just bushwhacking and making it happen. The last little bit was just like, it was crazy. I didn't know if I was going to make it or not, just because it was so hard to cut it going up those hills, and you just got to see it. But anyhow, so yeah, this is shaping up and looking nice. This is a much better transition than what it was before. Before, you would start up top here and it would dip way down low and then go back up to that area that was a little muddy with a tree. But yeah, so now that I've got this pretty shaped up, I'm going to run over it with a land plane again. Be super awesome to have maybe a 20 or 30,000 pound dozer with a 6-way blade. That would be real nice. It would be a lot easier to shape all this stuff up. But the land plane works really well, so I'm going to go back over this. But this, I think, is going to work. I think this is going to... It's not a finished product, but I think that this is the best version of what it's been so far. And I'm hoping that you know, the water stays to the inside and some of it goes over the outside and down that road to nowhere. And I just really don't want to lose all that gravel. But if this thing seems to be flowing the water good, what I'm going to end up doing is renting a trencher and putting silt fence all in to protect the gravel, and probably a culvert too. I think I'm going to put a culvert at the bottom of that hill there, around the bend. But yeah, this is cool. Alright, well, I ran the land plane back over this again to feather in these edges where the driveway meets the hill. So let's go for a little stroll here and see what we got. You know, with these shadows and the sun on the dirt, maybe it's kind of hard to see the contours as good as you might like, but you get the idea. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a little more definition there, and the reason I kept running the loader down the edge of the driveway was when you're making those sweeps over from the hill to the driveway, you end up getting material buildup and losing the ability to move that water on our right side. So you can see some areas here where I've got to do some scratching with a loader to bring some dirt down because, you know, the camera really doesn't show grade or height and depth very well, but that's like 2 foot there, I would say. I was running the tractor up on that. You can see the tracks there. It was kind of getting close to tipping over. So I was like, hey, you know, maybe we shouldn't do that. You know, being pinned under a 5,000 pound tractor up here by myself with only dogs to help me, probably not the best idea. But so yeah, I've got to now run over this stuff with the loader again to do some cleanup and do some scratching. And yeah, you get the idea. But I'm really happy with the way things are turning out. I'm kind of a visual person, so I just keep chipping and chipping away at this, and it's kind of turning into what I want to see, and very functional. Now look how much I built this up. You know, this is pretty wild. I would say gotta be 8 foot thick of fill. You know, I've done what you call lifts, you know, a little bit at a time. Now, if you watch the other video where I cut the trees down, now where you see this tree laying on the ground, that was the level of the road just previously. And I'd say we've built it up another 3 feet since then with all the dirt that I've pulled off of that hillside and the driveway and whatnot. So, you know, you're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul, which is a good thing in this sense because, you know, we didn't need all the material that we had on that hill, but we did need it here. So, you know, if you, when you got a big loader like this, if you can dream it, you can do it. And that's probably my biggest problem is I let my imagination run away with me. Instead of working with what I got, I just start reinventing the wheel. So it's a cool wheel though. But here we are. And I think, you know, I've spent a lot of time on this, but this is what I call the infrastructure. You know, this driveway from the road up to this landing, which leads back into the woods. And then this other shot off to the side, that's the road to nowhere. Like, I really did not have anywhere to put all the dirt I pulled off the driveway. All right, well, you can see what we've got going on here. I ran over that with the loader, doing that scratching I was talking about, and then I hit that with a land plane again. You can see the tracks from my truck going down the driveway. It really kind of defines the crown that we've got going to the left and to the right, and I think this is going to work really well. I broke the 3-point lift twice on the tractor known as Ho Chi Lin yesterday. So I left this morning to get a part and some fuel for it. She's having a little sneeze attack from all the dust. So we're going to get to fixing this tractor, I suppose. And I got all the stuff down here to mess with that. Let's see how this goes. So about that, last year there's a side stabilizer that I broke working back in the woods, and it takes some kind of specialty part that I was having a hard time finding, so I just kind of left it off, and I ended up breaking two of these Heim joints for that upper link for the 3-point. And because I had it on the same orientation, I broke the same one twice, and they're left and right thread. That's where that piece goes, and this is the part that broke. Because this is a Chinese tractor, it's kind of hard to find parts for this thing. So that was what broke the first time. That nut came loose and lost prime to the pump, and had to do that, and da-da-da-da-da. So I got this stuff set out here to do this repair. Let's get on to that and see how it goes. Man, this dog is always torturing the other one. And the sad thing is, Lily's got almost double the weight on her, but she is a big sissy. She's been attacked by all kinds of different dogs over the years, and this dog has kicked her butt a couple of times. There's really not a whole lot she can do other than try to avoid the madness and hope Dad steps in. Oh yeah, here's a look at what we did down here. I haven't showed you guys that yet, but I think the general shape of this is looking real nice. Let me know what you all think. How's she looking? It looks like the water's going to go right to the inside on the hillside. You can see that crown real good. And this is looking nice back here too. That land plane makes a big difference. Well, I'm going to quit the yapping and get the cracking on this tractor. Oh, these dogs, man. Gotta love them. Okay, we got that all just about done. I'm going to pull you guys off the tripod and let's check out what we got going on. Now, I put this one with the adjusting locker to the back. That way, if this repair fails and it breaks that Heim again up there on the drive control, I've got two other ends that I can replace that with, and you can see that that's just some hardware store garbage that I'm just going to see, will it hold up? I don't know. We'll see. It was only a couple of bucks. I think the actual bolt itself with a little eyelet on it was like $3 or something. So it's worth a shot. It's just see if we can make it work. And I'll give you guys a little time lapse on the land plane, and you can see, how I'm getting these results. Is that what what you're seeing? I'm an amateur. I'm not a pro. I think it looks pretty good, and I'll just show you what I figured out by trial and error. You can see this thing's going up and down, and it's landing on the ground pretty square. That's kind of what I'm taking a peek at here, seeing if I need to make any adjustments. But I'm happy with where it's at. No adjustments needed, and let's get doing a little bit of work again. Heck, I forgot. I gotta put some fuel in the track loader, and I also need to grease this thing too. Both are obviously pretty important, so let's get after that. Well, I just realized that that little repair that I made has failed, so I'm going to pull that piece off of there, chuck it off to the side, and get back at it. And I guess I'm just going to weld that piece on at some point. But let's wrap this up anyhow. Things look pretty good from up here in my opinion. What do y'all think? Do a little pan around. Nice pretty blue sky today. A little bit of clouds. Oh, you know what? Check this out. So this is what I was talking about in the other video. This is all the rock that's just underneath all that dirt. I'm thinking about letting the rain kind of wash this dirt off of this rock and let this rock be exposed. Because, you know, even if I put a couple of inches of dirt on top of that rock, I don't know that the grass would grow. You know, because the ground just really can't hold any moisture. It'd probably end up just getting baked. So drop a comment. Tell me what you think about that rock situation. But yeah, that's about going to wrap it up for this one. let's go down here and hop on the tractor and take a ride up, and you get it like a slightly different perspective for what things look like. Believe it or not, like just being up a couple of feet on that seat, it really does make a little bit of a difference in what you're seeing. Alright, everybody, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. How's it looking? Should I change anything? Do something different? Let me know. But yeah, that is about it for this one. We're pulling up to one of our many tiny houses. Anyhow, thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you all on the next one.